What if the future of Nigeria's industrialization does not lie in Lagos, not in Abuja, not even in Port Harcourt? What if the answer has been hiding in plain sight, inside a single town in southeast Nigeria? A town without oil wells, without a seaport, without a federal industrial master plan, without decades of government investment. Yet, this town has produced more indigenous manufacturers than many entire African countries. This is not a myth. This is not propaganda. This is not ethnic sentiment. This is a Nnewi. And this documentary, where we will explain step by step, with facts, history, and economic logic, why this southeast town holds the key to Nigeria's industrialization. What if the future of Nigeria's industrialization does not lie in Lagos, not in the skyscrapers of Victoria Island, not in the corridors of power in Abuja, not even in the oil-rich creeks of the Niger Delta? What if the answer Nigeria has been searching for over 6 decades has been hiding in plain sight? Inside the town, many Nigerians drive past without a second glance. A town rarely mentioned in national industrial policy documents. A town that receives little federal allocation. A town called Nnewi. Nnewi has no oil wells, no deep sea ports, no federal steel complex, no government-built automobile city. Yet, Nnewi has quietly produced something Nigeria desperately lacks: indigenous industrialists, men and women who build, who manufacture, who employ, who export, who take risk without waiting for government permission. This documentary is not about sentiment. It is not about ethnicity. It is not about regional pride. It is about economic truth. And the truth is this: if Nigeria ever becomes an industrial nation, it will not be because of new slogans, new ministries, or new committees. It will be because Nigeria finally learns from places like Nnewi. Nnewi is located in Anambra State, southeast Nigeria. It is not a state capital. It is not a federal territory. It does not host Nigeria's largest ports or airports. Yet, Nnewi sits at a strategic crossroads, close to Onitsha, one of West Africa's largest commercial cities, and within reach of Aba, Asaba, Awka, and Owerri. This location quietly turned Nnewi into a trading nerve center, long before Nigeria ever spoke about industrialization. Unlike planned industrial cities designed on paper, Nnewi grew organically, driven by commerce, necessity, and culture. Its population density is high. Its land use is intense. Factories sit beside homes. Workshops coexist with markets. This is not chaos. It is functional economic density. And density, history shows, is the birthplace of industry. Nnewi is located in Anambra State, in southeast Nigeria. Administratively, it is a town. Economically, it behaves like a city. Industrially, it operates like a cluster. Unlike planned cities designed by colonial or post-colonial governments, Nnewi grew through economic pressure. Land is scarce. Population density is high. Competition is intense. Homes sit next to workshops. Markets blend into factories. Noise, movement, and production never truly stops. This density forces efficiency. In Nnewi, idle land is waste. Idle capital is shame. Idle youth is failure. These pressures created an environment where doing business is not optional, it is survival. Before Nnewi ever manufactured a single bolt or cable, they mastered trade. Nnewi traders specialized early in automobile spare parts. It was not accidental. Spare parts sit at the heart of modern economies. They require precision. They demand reliability. They connect directly to transportation and logistics. From Lagos to Onitsha, from Aba to Ibadan, Nnewi traders built networks. They learned supply chains, credit systems, trust enforcement, risk calculations. These traders were not just selling goods, they were learning industrial logic without factories. Long before machines arrived, Nnewi was already an economic powerhouse. Nnewi people were traders, disciplined, mobile, risk-taking traders. They dominated the spare parts trade, supplying mechanical components across Nigeria and even West Africa. While others waited for government jobs, Nnewi traders moved from city to city. Lagos, Onitsha, Aba, Ibadan, building capital quietly. But what made Nnewi different was not trade alone. It was what they did with the profits. They did not stop at importing. They did not stop at wholesaling. They asked a dangerous question: why can't we make this ourselves? At the heart of Nnewi's industrial rise lies one of the most powerful, yet most ignored, economic systems in the world, the Igbo apprenticeship system, known as Igbo boy. Young boys are taken in, trained for years, disciplined in trade, finance, customer relations, and risk management. They are not paid salaries. They are taught ownership. At the end of their training, they are settled with capital, not certificates. This system creates business owners, not job seekers. And when thousands of owners emerge every decade, something extraordinary happens. Industry becomes inevitable. Banks did not fund Nnewi. Government grants did not build Nnewi. People funded people. At the core of Nnewi's rise lies a system no Nigerian government designed, the Igbo apprenticeship system. Young apprentices live with their masters. They observe daily operations. They learn negotiation, pricing, inventory control, and customer psychology. They learn failure early. They learn discipline painfully. They learn patience thoroughly. And when their time is complete, they are settled. Not with speeches, not with certificates, but with capital. This system creates thousands of entrepreneurs every generation. No policy in Nigeria has matched this impact. Nnewi's most critical transition was not wealth accumulation, it was value chain evolution. Spare parts traders began assembling components locally. Assemblers began fabricating parts. Fabricators built factories. Trial and error replaced policy documents. Failures were absorbed privately. Successes were reinvested locally. Slowly, Nnewi crossed a dangerous threshold, the point where manufacturing becomes self-sustaining. This is where Nigeria failed nationally and where Nnewi succeeded locally. Importation is easy. Manufacturing is hard. And then we crossed that line when traders began asking a forbidden question. Why are we importing what we already understand? Assemblies began. Small workshops emerged. Local fabrication replaced foreign dependency. Mistakes were frequent. Losses were painful. But learning was rapid. Unlike government projects, failures did not lead to abandonment. Failure led to iteration. No discussion of Nnewi is complete without its industrial champions. Innocent Vehicle Manufacturing, Nigeria's first indigenous automobile manufacturer, founded not by government engineers, but by a trader who understood demand. From motorcycles to buses to SUVs, Innocent proved that African manufacturing possibility is possible. Cutix Cables, one of Nigeria's leading cable manufacturers, publicly listed, export-oriented, technically competitive. Ibeto Group, from cement to petrochemicals, a symbol of vertical integration. Chikeson Group and others, plastics, cables, industrial components, built for Nigerian realities. These companies did not emerge from industrial parks, they emerged from culture. Nnewi did not wait for industrial parks. It created organic clusters, plastics here, cables there, automotive parts nearby. Suppliers, technicians, transporters, and marketers formed a tight ecosystem. This proximity reduced cost. Shared skills increased speed. Competition improved quality. This is textbook industrial economics, achieved without textbooks. Perhaps the most uncomfortable truth for Nigeria is this: Nnewi works despite the state, not because of its power, private generators and independent solutions, roads, community pressure and private interventions, security, local vigilance, and social accountability. This forced self-reliance created a culture of efficiency, no waiting for policy, no dependency on politics, just production. Innocent vehicle manufacturing. Innocent did not start with ambition. It started with demand. Motorcycles, buses, commercial transport, vehicles designed for Nigerian roads, Nigerian fuel quality, Nigerian maintenance culture. This is localized industrial intelligence. Cutix Cable, a public company competing on quality, not sentiments. Exports, standards, technical certification. Proof that Nigerian manufacturing can meet global benchmarks. Ibeto Group and Chikasin Group. Vertical integration, risk appetite, long-term thinking. These are not miracles, they are systems at work. Across Nigeria, industrial estates lie abandoned. Billions spent. Factories silent. Why? Because industry is not built by policies alone. It is built by capital discipline, skilled labor, market proximity, ownership culture. And then we had all four, long before government noticed. Nnewi's factories do not wait for national grid stability. They generate their own power. This is expensive, but it enforces discipline. Efficiency becomes survival. Roads fail. Businesses adapt. Government delays. Production continues. This independence is costly, but it breeds resilience. If Nigeria is serious about industrialization, the lessons are clear. Industrialization must be decentralized. SMEs must lead. Culture must be respected. Local ecosystem must be strengthened. Not every region will copy Nnewi's exact model, but every region can learn its principle. Nigeria builds industrial estates without entrepreneurs. Nnewi builds entrepreneurs without estates. That difference explains everything. Industrialization cannot be announced. It must be grown. Nigeria must stop admiring Nnewi and start replicating principles. Local capital formation, SME-led manufacturing, apprenticeship-driven skills, cluster-based planning, not slogans, systems and systems that work. Nnewi stands at a crossroads. With better infrastructure, export support, and security, it could become West Africa's automotive hub, a manufacturing export zone, a blueprint for African industrial cities. But neglect remains a threat. Nigeria does not lack entrepreneurs. Nigeria lacks the humility to learn from its own success stories. One of these stories lives quietly, not in a capital city, not in a government office, but in a southeastern town called Nnewi. If Nigeria truly wants industrialization, the key has already been forged. The question is no longer where, the answer is. The question is, will Nigeria finally listen? Nigeria's problem has never been lack of ideas. Nigeria's problem has been refusal to learn from its own people. Nnewi did not ask for permission to industrialize. It simply did. If Nigeria truly wants factories, jobs, and exports, the blueprint already exists. It exists in a southeast town called Nnewi. The key has been forged. The door is still locked. The question left is this: will Nigeria finally turn the key? Nigeria's problem has never been lack of talent. It has been a refusal to learn from its own success stories. Nnewi did not wait for government. It did not wait for perfect conditions. It simply built and proved that industrialization is possible in Nigeria. The blueprint already exists. The question is whether Nigeria is ready to follow it. If you found this documentary insightful, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share it widely. And tell us in the comments, can Nigeria replicate Nnewi, or will it keep ignoring its greatest lesson? Thank you for watching.